Hello, welcome back to my Stardew Valley challenge run, where I try to reach perfection as soon as the game lets me. Last week, I tried but failed to get level 10 foraging, so this week, I want to get that as soon as I can. Today's the green rain day, and I'm just chopping trees the whole day, which is kind of boring. So, let's take a look at what the villagers are saying on the green rain day. Of course, all Clint can think about is Emily. He deserves a little sword slice for that one. I think it's kind of fun that Lewis talks to the governor on the phone sometimes. Willie's a little bit worried about the fish. Other villagers are somewhere between scared and prepared, and I kind of really like Haley's reaction here, where she's just kind of having a good time. And weirdly, Emily has some dialogue about a catfish that she bought from Willie that we caught, apparently. Back in the real world, we got a Woody's secret at some point there. And back in the fake world, look at how silly Demetrius is with his whole getup. Okay, well, maybe it's good to take caution when you don't know what's going on outside, but like, we're outside and doing just fine. You know, maybe we could be a little bit more cautious. Yeah, whatever. I like how Linus has seen this event before, and he knows that the trees will appear and then disappear. And over at the general store, Caroline's feeling a little cautious, Abigail is feeling a bit adventurous, and Pierre only cares about his money. Like a good older brother, Sam, although he's concerned, is protective of Vincent. Vincent has not a care in the world, and Jody, understandably, is a bit worried. And even our favorite shadow person, Krobus, has some unique dialogue for this event. Back in the real world, we're done chopping trees at 2 a.m. and we pass out. And after all that, we still don't have level 10 foraging. After chopping down all those trees, we ended up with 3,267 wood, so a little over 3 stacks. And I'm determined to get level 10 foraging today, but first, I do want to do a little bit of RNG farming in the mines. I'm just looking for the last dwarf scroll, and in that process, I actually get a strange doll in the same hit. So that's pretty lucky, and now let's actually start our day. We actually need to wait around until 8 a.m. until Gunther's museum opens up, at which point we can give him the goods, and he lets us talk to dwarves. On the way back, I'm starting to get the trees that I didn't get yesterday, but we do need to take a pit stop at the farm. And sure, one of the reasons why we're here is to just keep chopping trees, but we're also getting the furnaces running, crafting some more artisan good machines for our coop and our barn, saying hi to those animals and making sure that they're still happy, and stopping in that mushroom cave for that little bit of foraging experience that it gives us. A quick jaunt to the secret woods gives us a red mushroom, 12 hardwood, and of course more foraging experience, and towards the south there are apparently some trees that grew overnight. Right before 4 o'clock, let's sneak into Clint's before he closes, so we can do a little tool swap and get our pick and upgrade our hoe. This is the last upgrade we need for our main tools, although I'm still going to do the trash can, and we're going to get that copper pan later. Now we're just going to go around Pelican Town and Stardew Valley and chop trees where we can find them. When I enter a new zone, you might notice me snapping a picture of the map. This is just so that I can look for trees outside of the game, so I don't waste in-game time running around and not finding any trees. Even after all that, we still don't have level 10 foraging, so we do need to chop these trees in our oak tree farm, and it's after this 4th tree that we finally hit level 10. Now we can start working on our mastery points. That stump we just broke gave us our first 2 mastery points. I also saved harvesting our crops to the end of the day so I could get mastery points from that as well. The mastery system is a somewhat new system introduced in patch 1.6 that gives players another middle game or end game goal to achieve. Any activity that would give us experience points for the 5 main skills instead gives us mastery points, and once we reach different mastery point benchmarks, we can unlock new items, recipes, and powers. So now we close the chapter on getting just foraging experience, and now broaden our horizons to the mastery system. Just so you don't miss it, I have crafted a few more machines for our farm. I made some tappers, some mushroom logs, a deluxe worm bin, 2 more crystallariums, an oil maker, and a lot more preserves jars. Oh, I also sold a bunch of stuff too. With mastery on the mind, we're going to have to find ways to increase those points to get those rewards. We have some books left over from earlier. We have Combat Quarterly and Mining Monthly, and we didn't read them earlier because our combat and mining experience was already maxed out. Now, however, it gives us mastery points. Today, I want to do an activity that we haven't done in a while. fishing. There are a few more summer fish that we need to get for perfection requirements, and why not? Let's do that now, and we can get some mastery points along the way. The first fish I want to find is a pike. They're fairly common to find, and they're a little fidgety when catching, but not too hard. The next is the dorado, which is a bit more jumpy, a little reminiscent of catfish back in spring, but not too hard to catch for a master angler like Hanj. After catching those two important fish, let's head over to Marnie's to buy more animals to fill out our barn and coop. I'm naming the barn animals after beans, so we have Navy, Adzuki, Anasazi, Calypso. Weirdly, this one didn't let me name her, but she's a white cow and her name is Vanilla, and I'm also getting a brown cow named Coco. And finally, let's get a second pig to keep our first pig company, and name it Urad. Our coop has 4 open spots, but I figure let's leave the last one for the incubator. We have 3 new bunnies, Button, Inoki, and Oyster. After buying the whole zoo, let's take a quick pit stop in the secret woods for the hardwood and, this time, the mastery points, not foraging EXP. And we'll make it back to the farm to actually do our farm chores, like collect all those hops, create more kegs, and plump them in the barn, because that's where there's space. Speaking of extra space, let's take this 100 hardwood and take it over to Robin, the carpenter, and ask her to help us build a bigger home. She adds a nursery, which isn't all too important, but we do need the next house upgrade after this for perfection. I talked about this in episode 0, it just gives us the recipe for casks. Over in the desert, we're going to pick up this cactus fruit as a birthday gift for Sam, and our new botanist profession bumps that quality up to iridium. In town, Gus asks for a Joja Cola, which is really weird because he has the machine for them in his saloon. Like, maybe he wants to drive business there, but he's paying us? I don't know. Amusingly, over by the Joja Cola machine, Sam has some dialogue about buying them on a rainy day, and the friends have some dialogue about the Green Rain event. And weirdly, Sam just can't get his mind off of this Joja Cola joke. Anyways, we can take the Joja Cola and just take it across the room to Gus and get as much gold as we bought it for. It's still worth it because it ups friendship with Gus and it gives us some progression to the next prize ticket. Okay, back to fishing. There's one more fish that I really wanted to get today, and it's the super cucumber. It's a nighttime fish, it's also a sinker, so it usually goes to the bottom. And there we go. That's the 3rd fish today that we need for perfection. And I was honestly expecting it to take longer to get the super cucumber, so I'm not really sure what to do at this point. But I figure we could take our good luck fishing into the mines and try getting those rare fish. We get a cave jelly, a ghost fish, and a stonefish without much trouble. On the next floor we get some white algae and also the ice pip. And amazingly on the lava floor we get the lava eel on our first cast. It's a little bit rare here, usually you fish up trash. Back home, let's plant some tree seeds as one final task, and call it a day. Summer 18 starts out with Evelyn teaching us something about garden pots and giving us one for free, and Gus comes along stirring some pasta sauce, and he gives us a jukebox and the blueprints to make more. You might have noticed on the TV earlier that today is a terrible luck day. The spirits are super displeased. However, I still want to go in the Skull Cavern, and I think I have a way for turning luck in our favor. I'll pick up another help wanted quest in town before warping over to the desert. And as today is Thursday, the desert trader trades 3 prismatic shards for 1 magic rock candy. This is our key to success in the Skull Cavern on a bad luck day, because it gives us a +5 luck bonus after eating it. Luck is a really important buff when trying to make progress in the Skull Cavern. According to the Stardew Valley Wiki, every rock destroyed has a base chance of 2% to spawn a ladder, and then there are other ways to increase that percentage. The most obvious one being that when you destroy rocks, you're increasing the chance of ladders appearing from the rest of the rocks. But let's just think about that base 2% for a sec. Daily luck can increase that base percent by up to 2% or also down 2%, which does mean on a terrible luck day at lowest possible, the base chance of a ladder is 0%. Rare event number 1 real quick, we do get red cabbage seeds from the serpent. Not necessary, we already got them, but kinda neat. Back to thinking about ladders, luck buffs increase that base percentage by 1 for every luck point. So the magic rock candy, that has +5 luck, gives us a +5% to the base probability of getting a ladder when mining a rock. Oh, here's notable event number 2. This mummy drops a combat quarterly, which we can read for some mastery points. So typically I like to go in the Skull Cavern on good luck days because it does mean that the base percentage is at 4%. Accounting for the +1 luck buff from Spicy Eel, that would mean that we have a base percentage of 5%, which is the same as today because the bad luck reduces the base percentage to 0, and then the magic rock candy increases that to 5. At this point, the magic rock candy buff has worn off, so it's pretty abysmal luck from here on out. I'm pretty sure it would have been better to save it for a good luck day, but I didn't have anything better to do than go to the Skull Cavern today. As a little bit of good news, we complete the bat requirement for the Monster Slayer achievement. This gives us the vampire ring as a reward, which isn't all too interesting, but maybe it could be useful for a later quest when we can't eat food in the Skull Cavern. Luck still seems to be on our side because in this treasure room we get an auto grabber. This is the second auto grabber we have, and as we only have 1 coop and 1 barn, we're now completely automated. 2 auto petters and 2 auto grabbers. Another reason to go into the Skull Cavern today is to farm mastery points. It's pretty much unanimously agreed that the Skull Cavern is the best place to get mastery points because mining EXP is just the easiest one to get. Oh, I almost forgot to bring up the trash can tally. I want to see if upgrading the trash can is even worth it in a challenge run like this. We started out this run with 38,504 gold, and we ended with 43,603, which means we got 5,099 gold from our trash can. Combining that with the 628 gold we got when it used to be a copper trash can, our current tally is at 5,727. Fortunately, with the help of some staircases, I can make it to floor 100, get this prismatic shard, and warp on home. Summer 19. Today I'm looking forward to our second starfruit harvest of the season, and redeeming our rewards for our first mastery level. After taking care of the farm, let's take a pit stop at the traveling cart. The Nautilus shell, the farmer's lunch, and the rare seed aren't all necessary, but they're nice to have. And I'm heading into the secret woods for, of course, hardwood and some, actually not foraging experience, but mastery points. This quartz gets us to 2 hearts with Marnie, which allows us into our bedroom so we can pick up Lewis's underwear, and I think I'm just going to do the right thing with these and return them to Lewis later. Next, we can just kind of skim over Grandpa's note before picking up mining mastery. I'm mostly looking forward to those heavy furnaces because they take the ore for 5 bars, but the coal for 3, and they might even give us 6 bars instead of 5 when we smelt some ore. They also take up less space, so we can use those spots for other machines like kegs. I'm also looking forward to that Dwarf King statue because the buffs it gives are going to help us in our Skull Cavern runs. The ability that doubles gems is also fairly useful. I mean, it's more gems, but I'm not that interested in it compared to the other two. When we head into town, we can pick up a quest for fishing red mullet, and I'm stopping in Pierre's basically just to sell off a bunch of stuff. Most of our income comes from the starfruit wine, but our other artisan goods also are coming in handy. I am saving 1 pale ale for Pam because she asked for one and it's a quest. And the reason why I'm getting all this gold now is just to buy more starfruit seeds. We're gonna have empty spots, so we might as well plant more. I'm gonna save planting those seeds for a little bit later because I do want to head to Clint's before he closes. We can get our iridium hoe and get an upgrade for our watering can, and crack a few geodes open while we're here. A few items are for Gunther, the obsidian is a loved gift for Sebastian, the treasure chest is obviously useful, and 20 coal is awesome. Once again, I am putting off planting those starfruit seeds because other things need to happen first. Those red mullets stop spawning at 7 PM, so let's real quick get 4 of them to satisfy the requirements of that quest. I also want to stop in the tavern to get, well, I mean, just by happenstance there's a spicy eel, and also that triple shot espresso recipe. Sebastian's here playing pool with some friends, so we can drop off the quartz, which he asked for yesterday, and the obsidian that we got earlier today. Next, I just straight up run into Demetrius and accidentally turn in the red mullet quest, and today's also his birthday, so I bought some ice cream earlier from Alex, and I delivered it to Demetrius today as a loved gift on his birthday. Lewis gets his underwear back, and that's it for giving things to people, but we can still socialize just a little bit before heading over to the Mayor's Manor and picking up our prize ticket reward, which is an apple sapling. Not really necessary for perfection, we already have an apple tree growing, but I won't complain about a second one, and this can go in our greenhouse. Now that all of our errands out and about are done, we can finally focus on replanting those starfruit. It's a little bit more efficient to have the seeds in your hand while you're taking the starfruit out, so you can plant seeds and harvest fruit at the same time. In the greenhouse, my fall forage and winter forage seeds are ready, and we do get all the ones we need. Interestingly, we don't get the winter root. This is kind of in line with the findings I had in my previous video where I made probability calculations about the fall and winter seeds. I was pretty sure that we'd be successful here, and we are, but the fact that we didn't get any winter root is a sign that maybe I should have planted more seeds just to be a bit more careful. And I mean, I did, I just didn't speed grow them. But overall, I'm just glad that we get the fall and winter forageables that we need for the community center. And with that, the Junimos fix up the crafts room for us, and at this point it's fairly late, so let's just head off to bed. Overnight, we can watch the Junimos repair the quarry bridge for us, so that's more mining, some more trees, and a golden scythe on the horizon for us. Summer 20 is the first day of a 2-day event, the Trout Derby. It's not really necessary at all to partake in this event, but as we're only going to see this event once during this challenge run, I might as well attend just to get the full experience. After getting our farm chores done early, I want to stop in town for 2 reasons. First, Sandy's asking for a scorpion carp, not sure why she just doesn't walk over to the pool herself. And second, I want to buy a whole bunch of wheat seeds. This is personally one of my favorite crops because we can turn wheat into beer using a keg. I believe the wheat seed price to beer sell value is the highest ratio in the game at 28. For comparison's sake, the ratio of a starfruit wine selling to its seed purchase value is around 8, so not as good as this 28 for beer. Honestly, it's just a good way to fill up spots on the farm when I don't have another better seed to plant in that spot. And now, the gameplay for the Trout Derby is honestly kind of uninteresting. I'm just using a bait maker to make rainbow trout bait, so I can target those fish and hope to get those golden tags. You have a 33% chance of getting a golden tag when you fish up a rainbow trout, and there are 11 unique rewards from this event, so my target is to get 11 tags so I can get those 11 unique rewards, and then I think I would have fully experienced the event. After getting the tent kit, the next 10 rewards cycle through, so you could get more golden tags and then keep getting the same 10 rewards, but I'm not all too interested in getting a 12th tag for another crab pot. I am interested, however, in finishing up the rewards and getting the bucket hat, because I do want to adorn Hanj with a new hat and stick the other one on our horse. Now our horse can be fashionable too. At this point, you know the drill with the secret woods, hardwood, mastery points, and back home we do get our first truffle from our pig. Let's put that mounted trout on our wall to commemorate how much of a master fisher person Hanj is. Getting the truffle inspired me to finish another bundle in the community center, so let's make a fried egg and a maki roll, and bring it on over to finish not the dye bundle, but the chef's bundle. There we go. I don't have any more specific goals tonight, so I figured let's stop in the saloon and see what the dish of the day is. It's a salmon dinner, and I would give one to Alex right now because it's a love gift, but his home is locked. Oh well. And it's at this point I just remembered the quarry opened overnight. We should actually go do that before the day is over. So let's bomb the whole place, chop down the trees, and we get some wood, some copper, iron, gold, and some gems. Nothing we haven't seen before, but it's nice to get this. And then we can take some time to go into the dangerous mines and make our way to the very back to pick up a gold scythe. It's not going to be too important for too long because we can get an iridium scythe with our mastery levels, but hey, why not? It's there and we should get it since it got unlocked. Today's Sunday, and that means it's the last day of the week and the last day of the video. I'm just doing a little bit of farm chores, like getting some crops and replacing them with wheat. In the greenhouse, we get some more of those fall and winter forageables and some beets that we previously bought as seeds from Sandy. We got some more starfruit, our animals are looking good, and at the traveling cart, we get a very important apple. Even though we do have an apple tree growing, which will be ready in fall, we need 3 apples for the fodder bundle, so this apple will help us push up the community center completion date by 1 day. Next, let's head over to Clint's and get our watering can back. This leaves just the trash can and the eventual copper pan that we get left to upgrade to iridium. In town, we have yet another help wanted quest that we can complete very quickly. So let's go find Penny, who's waiting by the river for some reason, and give her a purple rock for the quest. and a green rock because she loves them. And we have yet another help wanted quest that we can finish. Sandy was asking for that scorpion carp, and we did have one left over from whenever we caught just the one. Finally, as it is Staircase Sunday, let's make some trades at the Desert Trader before spending the rest of the day in the Skull Cavern. This Skull Cavern run has a few notable things, like for example, this purple mushroom, which with our botanist perk is iridium quality, which means it heals for a lot more. But overall, it'll just be kind of like a montage, and I'll just kind of chime in when another cool thing happens. Another iridium mushroom, which is nice because I'm down to only one more ice cream. This iridium rock in particular sends us over to the next level of mastery, so next week we can figure out which of the other 4 mastery perks we want to get next. We reach floor 100 just after 8 p.m. and are awarded with an iridium sprinkler. Two prismatic shards, and maybe I should have sung it more like 2 prismatic shards, like partridge in a pear tree or something. The Serpent Monster Eradication goal, whose reward is the Napalm Ring, which I might use when we can combine rings at the forge. Ponge has a close run-in with this Iridium Bat, and it drops her down to 6 health. Fortunately, a previous Iridium Bat dropped a life elixir, and that brings us right back to full. It's almost time to leave the Skull Cavern, so now is a good time to check in on that trash can. We started with 95,870 gold and finished with 97,644, so that's a total of 1,774, and this means our running tally is 7,501 gold. As Hanj finishes up her nighttime chores, I just want to say thanks for coming along for another week. It's always great to have you here, and I can't wait to show you what's happening in the last week of summer. I'll see you then. Bye!